So most of us in the UK will now have Grok in our Teslas. That is if
What about our Tesla? Need help with navigation, range, or something specific?
That is if you've got a vehicle with an AMD processor. If you've got the older cars with an Intel processor, you don't have this yet. So the AMD processor was from early 2022. Anyway, Grok interrupted then, even though I turned the microphone off because it heard that little snippet before I muted the microphone. So I've done a few videos on Grok now, which are on the channel, and someone asked me what happens to the navigation turn-by-turn instructions from the Tesla while you're using Grok. And that wasn't a straightforward answer to give because I wasn't 100% sure. So I thought I'd film this video, show all the scenarios to answer that question. Because I would have initially said, well, a Tesla voice comes through and Grok will mute. But let's see what happens when Grok is talking to you, when the Tesla navigation wants to give you a turn-by-turn instruction. And also yesterday, there was another scenario I had where I was using the Tesla navigation. I had Grok talking and Grok started telling me the route and turn-by-turn instructions. But I had someone else in the car and it was also very loud and I ended up turning it off, but I hadn't heard Grok do that before. So I'm going to try to capture all the scenarios in this video so you can see exactly what happens. I have a route in the Tesla navigation, so let's see what happens if I have Grok running at the same time and see if the Tesla turn instructions come through. So Grok, can you tell me a joke?
Why did the astronaut break up with his girlfriend? Because he needed space. Want another?
Yes, please.
Why don't skeletons fight each other? They don't have the guts. Got a favorite topic for the next one?
Right, as you could hear there, I didn't have a navigation instruction to tell me to turn left at that roundabout. So let's put Grok back on and see whether I get an instruction to go straight over at this one. No, silent. So I'm not getting any Tesla voice instructions through while Grok is running. Even if Grok is running but muted, I don't think I'm getting any through. So let's just see what happens at the next roundabout. No, again, I'm not getting any Tesla voice prompts through. Goodbye. So I've got rid of Grok and I'm now getting the Tesla voice prompts through. So it wasn't muted, all working fine. So quite clearly when you've got Grok running, whether Grok is talking or not, it disables the Tesla navigation prompts, which I didn't think it did that. So that's not very good. So another scenario I had yesterday was Grok seemed to be giving me the turn instructions, but what it could have been doing was giving me an overview of the route, which happened to be turn instructions, and it all happened to be at the same time I was coming up to a junction, because I came out to a junction and it told me to turn left, and then it said and then you turn right, and it just happened to be I was driving at that place while it was giving me that overview of the route. But it seemed to do a bit more than that, so I'm going to try to replicate that now and see what happens. So I'll just turn Grok on. So using Grok, I've now got a route in my Tesla navigation.
Navigating to Aldi on Henry Blake Way in Farringdon, 8 miles away. About 16 minutes. Safe trip.
So where do I go at this roundabout?
Take the left at this roundabout onto Wallingford Street. Then it's straight on for now.
So the navigation prompts aren't coming through, so where do I go up here?
Turn left onto Marketplace up ahead, then right onto Mill Street after 200 feet.
So can you give me voice prompts as I drive along?
Sure, just ask me at each turn or roundabout, and I'll give the next step from navigation. You're good for now.
But I have to ask you every time, do I?
Yeah, for now, just tap and ask at each junction, and I'll pull the latest nav instructions. Keeps it simple and safe. Next one's a left at the roundabout onto Challow Road in about half a mile.
Half a mile, crikey. What do I do now?
Turn right onto Mill Street right now, then left at the roundabout in 3/10 of a mile onto Challow Road.
Just here?
Yes, turn right onto Mill Street right here, left at the roundabout ahead onto Challow Road.
So as you can see, Grok can give you navigation instructions, but you've got to keep asking it, but it's doing it pretty well. It's giving you more or better instruction than the Tesla nav will. I didn't realize it did this, so I'm learning as I film this for the first time. But yeah, it's quite annoying that your Tesla voice prompts don't come through while Grok is running, even if Grok is muted. So you basically got to tell it to go away by saying goodbye and then waking it back up when you push the scroll wheel on the steering wheel. So where do I go now?
Left at this roundabout onto Challow Road, then immediately left at the next one to stay on Challow Road.
Yeah, that wasn't left. That would have taken me up there. I needed to go straight over that roundabout. So your voice instructions aren't brilliant, but slightly better than the Tesla ones, I think.
Glad to hear it. Next up, turn left onto Farringdon Road in about 1 mile.
So I would have thought they could make the Tesla navigation come through at the same time, because the Grok app is basically the same as any music app on the Tesla. It's just the same as if you're using Spotify, the radio, or Amazon Music or whatever, or the audio books. When you're using those, the Tesla voice navigation will come across over the top of your music. So you would have thought it could do the same in Grok, but maybe it will in the future. So the best thing to do is, when you're not using Grok, don't just hit the microphone there to mute it.
Yeah, switch off Grok when you don't need chat, so Tesla's nav voice takes over fully. Smart move.
Goodbye. So Grok disappears, and then you're going to get the Tesla navigation instructions come through, and then when you want to use Grok, just long push on the right scroll wheel on the steering wheel, and then Grok will come back up.
Yeah? And then Grok pops back up like nothing happened. What's next on your mind?
What's my next turn?
Your next turn is in 3.4 miles, left at the roundabout onto Farringdon Road. Then it's 11 minutes to Aldi.
Okay, go away now. So the other thing to bear in mind with Grok is you need it in assistant mode for it to work with the Tesla navigation. So let's put Grok in one of the other modes and see whether it can give me voice instructions. I don't think it's going to be able to. So can you tell me a short story about someone who wanted to buy a new car, but they wouldn't buy a Tesla because of Elon Musk, so they bought a Polestar, and then Tesla released full self-driving, and he felt really sick because his neighbour had a car that can drive itself and he couldn't.
Yeah, all right. Let me finish that for you. So there was this guy, Tom, mid-30s, lived in a quiet cul-de-sac just outside Oxford. He'd saved up for ages, properly scrimped, skipped holidays, even sold his old vinyl collection. The plan? A shiny new electric car. Not just any mind. He wanted sleek, silent, future-proof. But every time he scrolled Tesla's site, Elon's face popped up in some tweet about Mars, or crypto, or whatever, and Tom's stomach turned. No way, he muttered. I'm not giving that bloke my money. So he went for Polestar 2. Sleek as hell. Swedish minimalism, matte black, zero drama. Felt like driving a spaceship. He loved it. Parked it outside his garage every night like it was art.
Hey Grok, where do I go at this roundabout?
Take the third exit. Straight ahead, then it curves left towards the A417. You'll see the big Tesco on your right after about half a mile. Unless you're after a sneaky coffee first. Then second exit's your mate.
That's weird because none of that was right and I'm nowhere near a Tesco's. Do you want to continue with that story?
Oh, you mean the roundabout saga? All right. Where were we? So yeah, you take that third exit, the one that feels like it's trying to sneak past the petrol station without being noticed.
So Grok now started telling me a completely different story, which was based on the last navigation instructions, and it was using my location to invent that new story. It's clever, but it's gone off on a completely different tangent.
Want me to keep going? Or are you actually heading somewhere specific?
No, I'm actually heading somewhere specific, and it's in the navigation. So what's my next turn?
Right, no messing about then. Your nav's probably saying turn left in 200 meters onto the B4000. That's the one. It'll feel wrong at first, like you're abandoning civilization, but trust it.
Hey Grok, goodbye.
Take care, Matt. Drive safe.
So I don't know whether you noticed that sign there, but Grok knew the road names and was taking me down there. Yeah, the navigation is going forward. So in these other modes, it is giving you what looks like instructions, but it's telling me a story, but it's based on where I am. So it's very clever, but you could accidentally start following that and it's just a story because I'm in storytelling mode. So it is only in the assistant mode. Right, I still had Grok on there. I'm surprised you didn't answer. But it is only in assistant mode where it's going to be interacting with the navigation. So I don't know what the Tesco's was. It didn't have my location correct. But anyway, in Storyteller mode there, it thought I was slightly off on my location, but it was making stuff up because it's in story mode. So you've got to be a bit careful. So you want to be in assistant mode if you want any actual real information in terms of what your navigation is doing. So what's my next turn?
In 2 minutes, take the first left at the roundabout onto A420. Then, after half a mile, another left at the roundabout onto Park Road.
Okay, goodbye. However, that wasn't right. So it said turn left at this roundabout, which is correct. But the next roundabout, it said turn left, and it's not, it's turn right. So that isn't right.
Now after the roundabout, take the first exit.
So the Tesla voice guidance came through, saying take the first exit. Let's just check whether the Tesla navigation is actually saying right up here, because sometimes it says right, but then the visual instructions is something different, or vice versa. Yeah, Tesla instructions is spot on there. So it's strange that even in assistant mode, Grok was giving me different instructions. So you can't rely on it at all at the moment. Obviously, it will get better with an over-the-air update, I'm sure. But at the moment, it was telling me to go left here, which is up there. Well, that's straight on really, isn't it? But anyway, it was telling me to go left there and not right.
Now your destination is on the right.
So you've obviously got to be very careful using Grok for turn-by-turn instructions, but actually setting the navigation destination in the first place. It is brilliant at doing that. So anyway, I hope you found this video useful. If you have, please do click the thumbs up. That really helps. I've got other videos on the channel if you'd like to see some more on how Grok integrates into the Tesla. And I'll see you on the next video. If you like the video, please do click the thumbs up button, and leaving a comment also helps too. Plus, of course, subscribe if you're not. There's the super thanks button if you'd like to go further, especially if a video has saved you time or money. There's over 1,200 videos on the channel, so have a browse, use the search, and have a look at the playlists. And here's 2 videos you may want to check out.